What's up guys, this is Void of Death Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content, and I was just playing some ranked games recently, so today it's going to be about a ranked game, and the next video in German is going to be another ranked game as well. I am in my promotion series right now. I think I have been put to Platinum 2, so I'm back on the way to Diamond up again. And right now, after 2 games, the things are looking quite good. So today we're going to talk about Ata. Ata is a hero that has been buffed recently with the last update. And I got less than 10 matches with him. My win rate isn't too good, but I still wanted to try something new in my ranked matches, and therefore I picked him. I think that Ata is quite versatile. He's got a pretty good kit with a denying ult. He's got this anchor thing going on where he can just travel towards enemies or stun them if he hits some terrain, and he's got this little nice jump and afterwards stun effect that some players might know from Fizz in a quite similar version in League of Legends lore. So we're going to take a look at Ata, and I think the first thing that we need to do is check out his build. And in this case, I have come up with something which is shouting true tank all over the place. We've got the Mantle of Ra, we've got Gaia Standard, we've got the Aegis, and we have the Mail of Pain in our disposal. So that means that we've got everything set up to build armor as well as magic resistance as well as health points, and these are the 3 things that we're going to focus on. Support item wise, I went with the Earth Gem. That's the stuff that's going to improve your health points even further, and I think it is kind of situational on what you should pick. Because of the enemy layout, I decided to take the barrier one after the first couple of minutes. So this is going to be my setup, and that is true for one different, or for one certain, not one different, but for one certain purpose. You are going to be upfront with your anchor all the time. Ata is a meta hero, and I found myself to be in a really particular problematic situation all the time. Because I sometimes think that I do get a shield, but instead it's this kind of like delay HP that Ata has. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but we're going to talk about it in the upcoming gameplay, and I'm going to explain it in detail. But there is a slight problem with health going to deplenish, and then Ata can afterwards try to replenish it, and therefore we are trying to maximize the health pool in order to use that to our very best. That is going to continue in my Arcana layout. As you guys can see, I've got around 800 max HP plus in total. Just a quick run through. I've got 10 times Indomitable for armor and max HP. Attack speed is nice, but it's not something that we're focusing on. I've got Benevolence for the max HP and the movement boost. And I'm using Skewer because I want to have some impact at last. And this is going to be the rune that helps us to attack enemies and deal some damage to make life for our AD carries easier. Enchantment wise, I've decided to go with full utility / sustain. We've got the Rivet Reader and Nature's Gift to give us back some health and improve our health pool even further. I'm taking the Explosive Shield. Again, we are going to maximize the shield and health effects that we get from him or for him. Eventually you can take Regrowth here because it's going to improve your heal effect. I haven't tried that out, but if anyone has, please put your thoughts in the comments below if you think that this is something that you want to use on Ata. As I've got less than 10 games, I can't really tell anything about the usage of this, and therefore I have stick to something more traditional with Nature's Gift. And in the second line, we're going with Bone Cutter. Bone Cutter stacks with our Gilded Greaves, the movement item that's going to reduce the cooldown durations on Ata. And I've taken Devour here for some additional life gain. And before we hop into the game, the last thing that I ask you every single time before the gameplay, please subscribe to my channel. We've got more followers than ever. 760 is the count that I have been recording lastly before checking out this video, and I would be super happy if I've get a lot of likes and a lot of your thoughts. You've guys been epic in the past. There is a lot of activity on my channel at the moment. I think it's the most active season or time I have realized on this channel ever, so it's going to be a pleasure onwards to make even more videos or more constantly videos for you guys. And thanks everyone, but now I think it's time for some gameplay. Let's start! Alright guys, here we go. As I said, I have taken, after the Halo buff, I have been taking the barrier one, and that is because, as you guys did not see, but I'm gonna tell you, we are going to face Valheim and Grug. So we've got a lot of poke potential, we've got a lot of burst damage incoming, and I wanted to be suited for this particular reason by taking the support item that is going to answer this kind of scenario in the very best way. But I'm going to take the Halo buff first. So what do we have? We've got a pretty nice layout for a platinum match in ranked. We've got Zenith, who is super strong at this stage of the ranked matches, like especially if you climb higher with the ranks. Even in Diamond, Zenith loses a lot of his power because people start to know how to deal with him. Many newer players don't really know what to get because he is actually quite strong. Wow, I was super lucky to dodge this hook there. I think just one step in the left direction and Grug would have hooked me, and that would have been instant death for me. But we've got Zenith, we've got Arthur, super strong tank who's got a lot of force to deal with. We've got Dimchan, who is really exceptional at controlling crowds. She's got a lot of CC. I think she's one of the best CC mages with Alistair, to mention that character here in the game. I'm glad that they nerfed one of his spells so that he isn't as influential as he was. Still, he's pretty strong. And with me as a pretty mobile and CC-oriented support, and Valheim, who sports some nice CC here again, we've got a pretty solid composition here in the game. Now, this is really unlucky, like really bad start. Arthur has been killed by Tara. I don't know how that happened. Tara in the beginning of the game isn't that strong. I mean, she relies heavily on her health regeneration that she gets when she hits level 4 and she unlocks her ultimate. I think if you are a clever Arthur player, you should be able to deal with her, but in this case it wasn't possible. I don't know what the reasons were. As you have seen, we did not check it out. And we have Quillen in the opposing team. I mean, Quillen has an advantage because he is able to do a lot of stuff with his invisibility. I try to block his passage here to the tower, but unfortunately I was a little bit late. So Quillen is really good if he has the moment of surprise, but in a 1 versus 1 he doesn't stand a chance against most of the characters if he isn't played correctly and you enter with him in the 2nd or the 4th instance of the fight. So you should always wait with Quillen. But what's gonna happen? He's going to fight with Zenith a lot, and Zenith is a dual monster. Quillen can't really go toe-to-toe against heroes, especially the warrior ones, if he hasn't got his invisibility, and the heroes have been punished a little bit, especially early game. Like in the late game, of course, if Quillen is fed, but that is true for every single other character in the game. If a character is fed, of course, situations do start to change. So of course then he is able to do something against that. Unfortunately, Valheim did not check that I wanted to block Grug here, so that was a little bit unfortunate, and as you guys can see, that is exactly what I was talking about. You've got this little gray bar, but Arthur's bar is gray, as I said, and it's not kind of whitish. So white bars mean that you get extra shields. Extra shields are going to increase your health points in addition to the health points that you already have. For example, Arduin gets a shield. So if enemies attack you, and it doesn't matter what source it is, they have to shred through your shields before they can get to your health. So in this case, the whole mechanics of Arthur work otherwise. what is going to happen is that you still have your health and it's going to deplenish, but this little gray bar can be refilled when you auto attack. So there is a small percentage of health that you do get back if you auto attack. So what you want to do is you want to auto attack a lot. I don't know what I did there. That was so crucial. I should have flickered earlier, I should have used my ult, so pretty bad start for our team, 5 versus 10. And you guys might think, wow, Void, why are you going to show us something like that? Because it's going to be better afterwards. That's the reason why, and because you guys need to learn something, or should learn something. I don't think that you need to learn something, but you are here to learn something from my mistakes, and therefore I can just tell you, we had a really bad start. We didn't manage to get right into the game, and now we're starting to get the head around the game and start to become better. So this is kind of like the turning point in today's ranked match. So what you want to do, you want to attack with Utter as much as possible. And now I'm going to kind of redo what I said. The 4% of attack increase are actually not that bad, because it just means that you're going to hit enemies more often, only by 4%, but more often. And that means that you're going to get more health back, and that's something that is actually quite good. So again, still we are doing a lot of defending right now. The enemy is basically controlling the flow of the game, which is always a bad position. And now Quillen really wants everyone, and he really wants to fight them. And we are able to defeat people here, and I don't know what the Arthur is actually thinking. It does not go that well, but now you can see the true power of Xanis. Xanis is just an assassin killer, and he doesn't have a problem to get Valheim here, because he has just so much damage and he's attacking so fast. He is shredding these little not that well armored targets with ease. And as you see, he is even able to get Quillen. And as I said, Quillen was already low, but then of course what you are going to do is you should get back to safety. And if Xanis is full, he might just tower dive you and kill you without a problem. And now he's even got Tara, so he manages to get us back into the game. 10 versus 13 right now. I'm going to help him a little bit with the Sentinel so that he can focus on the important things, which means kill people. And now we have, I think we've gone back into the game, or back to the game, because it isn't as bad as it was. Unfortunately, the enemy has started to get around 2 towers already. We have 1, but we are just kind of increasing the pressure on the middle tower, which is the most important one, because it is the nearest distance to the core, from your core to the enemy's core, when you travel through the middle lane. I don't know what was going on with the I forgot his name, Jinnah here. That was actually quite strange, but we need to be careful because everyone is still really strong in terms of the enemies. I used my ultimate here defensively to block the enemy's path, and I snagged some stuff here that wasn't my plan, but unfortunately it happened. Well, I've got the second kill right now and I'm going to take it. And what you can really do with Arta's first skill is to dodge stuff, and I just realized how good it is in this match. And we're even able to get Quillen back from, or to make him repel from our Dio-chan, so that she's able to get out alive. If not for our entertainment and for our action, she would have been dead by now, but we saved her with a nice jump right into Quillen's face. So yeah, that's Arta's kid. I already said it. You've got a really good ult because you can actually deny places, and denying things in MOBAs is always a really good thing. So you can basically deny enemies to get away from you, or you can deny the backline to get into the engagement and just keep them away from the fight, which are actually 2 really strong scenarios, and you can capitalize on that with using that kind of shipwreck right into the enemy's face, and you can just block things and make them not worth their time. So I think it's a pretty strong kit. I don't even know why I should have ended it here. I don't know why I'm not playing Ata much. Like, of course, he isn't one of the best support heroes in the game, but actually he's not a bad hero either. So if you haven't tried Ata yet and you own him, you should give him definitely a try, because he can pull some really stupid things off, as in jumping right at enemies. I mean, that's pretty strong to be able to just dash things and then got a knock-up effect. And as you can see, we have just been excluding Valheim from the fight completely. Now he's gone back, but it just gives your team so many options. I mean, if you are dividing the enemy team one from the others, and that was pretty bad because Zenith wasn't fighting with us, not to blame him, but we basically took the we made the wrong decision, and we took the wrong point of fighting the enemy team because our team wasn't complete. But it doesn't really matter, because things are still looking good. And now we've got Darkslayer, which is also a really nice thing because Zenith can slay him alone. And heroes who are able to kill important objectives such as Darkslayers or Abyssal Dragons by themselves are really strong and a really good addition to your team, because they can actually make plays when the rest of the team is engaging or poking the enemy, distracting them from getting these objectives. So therefore, Zenith is of course a hero that most of the players think is pretty noobish and easy to use. I have a video on my channel posted recently which basically shows that this is not the case. You still need to know how to use him properly. That's always the case with every single hero. It doesn't matter how easy or not easy it is, but you need to be aware of the fact that every single hero has his own purpose, and of course it's true for Zenith as well. And I think with all the crowd control and all the stuff that we have, it was worth winning, and 24 versus 17 is a pretty good result, and it just shows that the game was going back and forth. And as some of my older viewers know, or longer lasting viewers know, this is kind of the game that I really enjoy. I don't really enjoy stomping enemies or being stomped with 5-15, 5-20, 26 hilarious games. I like the games that are a little bit close, because it just means that you had more fun engaging. So 7.0, we tanked at least around 30% of the damage that was taken. I think that's a pretty solid result. And yeah, that was the first ranked game I won. The second ranked game I won, and you guys are going to see the next one. We are going to feature Zil. So thank you for tuning in, and yeah, please come back.